So it's been a while. What's it been, like 3, 4 months since my last upload? I've streamed like twice in that time. A lot has changed. So, in this time, my entire everything has evolved. Now, let's just start with my setup, right? Windows. We all love Windows, right? No, we don't. Windows sucks. I hate Windows. If I have the chance to not use Windows, I'm not using Windows. And you might be wondering, hey, Supreme Penny Pincher, you have Windows on your desktop right now, right? Yes. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I am a Jehovah's Witness of Linux. See, this Windows is a crock of shit. I hate it. I wish I would never have to use it again. And guess what? I don't. Okay? I don't. That is a virtual machine. I don't need to touch anything with Windows anymore. And here's the reason why. Linux has gotten so good at being an operating system that I rarely ever have to use Windows anymore. Right? You might be thinking to yourself, well, Supreme, you're a gamer. How are you supposed to play games on Linux? Linux games, nobody games on Linux. Who does that? Well, whoever says that can go eat a dick and die, because let me tell you something. Linux gaming has been put onto the forefront of the gaming scene. Was my green screen just giving... What the fuck is that green screen? Stop. Anyway, look. Linux gaming is being put on the forefront of the gaming world. Operating systems, I mean, frickin' floors Mac. Mac has nothing on Linux. Now, I have tried many distros, right? I've tried Ubuntu, Kubuntu, Lubuntu, just straight up Debian, straight up Arch. My favorite distro, my favorite Linux distro to use is Manjaro. And let me tell you why. See, Linux distros are funky. There is one for everyone out there. If you want a Linux distro, my god, if you want a Linux distro that can run on a 1 gig RAM system on like an Intel Pentium, you could do it. I mean, you could always find... Arch will run literally anything. Manjaro is Arch based. And the reason I choose Manjaro specifically is because Manjaro, first of all, Arch in general, I've had no issues with gaming. I've had no issues with recording. I've had no issues installing nothing. I've had no issues. The fact that Linux has become so plug and play for the average gamer is insane. Like, Steam. God bless the people at Steam, right? I'm a Halo guy. I love Halo. I've been playing Halo since I was like 4. I still have my original copy of Halo Combat Evolved from our original Xbox. 19 years old. Older than me! And strictly Windows. But the witches and warlocks over at Valve have figured something out that the rest of Windows hasn't. So, through something called Proton, which I believe is, if I'm not mistaken, I could be butchering this. I think it's based off of the Wine compatibility layer. So Wine is basically a program that you can get on Mac as well. It allows you to run Windows programs under that compatibility layer. So if I wanted to run Microsoft Office like 2007 or something on here, I could do it with Wine. The people at Valve built off of Wine, if I'm not mistaken, something called Proton, which will allow you to run Windows-based games. So let's just check out my Steam library real quick, right? Let's just bring this over here. You know, maybe not even 2 years ago, everything I have in my Steam library, by the way, this is a fresh installed new machine, kind of started from scratch. Everything you see in my Steam library, they have a Linux-only option. Red Dead 2, strictly Windows. You know, I would have never dreamed of playing it. It runs phenomenally. Let's load. I'm talking 1440p, 144 hertz on, 1440p, 144 hertz on relatively medium high, between medium ultra settings. And what I want you to understand is that this is through a compatibility layer. This is basically taking the square and making a way for it to fit in the circle hole. The fact that we are able to do this is incredible. Linux is, first of all, extremely light. It's free. It's secure. That's the thing for me. Security. As you can see, Red Dead 2 is running right. Is that above me? I don't know where my green screen is going to be placed on this video, but Linux is so secure. That's the reason I use it. Security. Whenever I need to do anything in Windows, I run a virtual machine. If I really need to do gaming on Windows, I do have a Windows boot drive. But this, it works. So this is Red Dead 2, 144 hertz, 1440p. Running medium high settings on Linux. This is extremely playable. I mean, like, hold on, let me just show you how playable this is. Hold up. Jeez, I'm bad. I haven't fully set up OBS, so I don't know if this is recording in 60 FPS or not. Jeez, I haven't played this in a while. How do I play this game? Okay, there we go. Alright. This is 144, 1440p on a game that's supposed to run on Windows. It runs great. I'm able to play it in Linux. No issues whatsoever. I mean, I don't know if OBS is picking it up properly because I haven't fine-tuned it, but it's like, this is incredible. Now, you also might be thinking to yourself, Supreme, sure, you know, it's cool, Red Dead can run off of Vulkan, you know Vulkan is like the basis of Linux gaming. Okay. If you want to pull, Red Dead can run because it has a Vulkan API. Let me show you this. This is Halo, the Master Chief Collection. A DirectX only game running on Linux. Now, granted, if I ever wanted to play the Master Chief Collection's horrible multiplayer, I would be shit out of luck because there is no... the only thing this doesn't work with, the only thing Linux doesn't like, is easy anti-cheat. Easy anti-cheat has a field day when it comes to Linux because it would just, like, watch. Multiplayer, well, I'm not even going to bother. Easy anti-cheat will drop everything for Linux. We'll jump into Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, right? My favorite game. Now, I have a very good monitor. 1440p, 165 hertz. This is, you know, running, I think around 300 FPS. This is a Windows only game. Okay, VSync is on. This is Halo the Master Chief Collection, a Windows only game running on Linux through a what the hell is my green screen doing? Running on Linux through a compatibility layer at 300 plus FPS, both new graphics and old graphics on Linux. And it's crazy. You're gonna see a lot more Linux videos here in the near future. My wonderful girlfriend has named me the Jehovah's Witness of Linux, but there is no, apart from easy anti-cheat, there's no real compromise to use Linux. The only compromise is when you use Windows and you are risking your security day in, day out for even websites that can lead you to malware. Now, I will never say Linux can never get a virus. Linux, Mac, Windows can all get viruses. But the chances of you getting a virus from Linux just from installing the wrong package, if you will. So I can actually give a demonstration of this now. So say I want to install OBS. I don't have to go to the OBS website, especially with Arch. You can do it on Debian with the Debian package manager. Arch is just, I love Arch. Anyway, and that's not elitist bullshit, by the way. There's a common misconception that in order to use Linux, you have to be some sort of computer fucking wizard. Now, I'm not smart. All right, I'm a service desk tech. I know computers. I work with computers. You don't have to know the knowledge that I have to work with Linux. My mother, who's 50 years old, I put Linux on her computer, not a single issue. Now, if I wanted to install OBS, I have this thing here called the command line. The command line is very, very detrimental to your experience on Linux. You can run Linux entirely through the command line. The thing about the command line is that you shouldn't be afraid of it. It's easy. It's easy to understand. You don't need to memorize everything. The internet is an amazing tool. Whoever says they use Linux and never use the internet to figure out a command, they're bullshitting you, alright? Everybody uses the internet. Now let me show you something. Say I want to install OBS Studio. Well, if I were on a Debian distribution, I could do sudo apt install OBS-studio, press enter, and boom, I have OBS Studio. No links, no websites, no nothing. I don't have to worry about clicking on a virus. On Arch, like what we're using right now, it would be sudo pacman. So sudo is the root that basically gives you admin permissions, or gives the command an admin permission. Pacman, package manager, at s, which would be installed to the system. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then you would do OBS-studio. Put in your password. Now, it'll say, just looking for dependencies, looking for conflicting packages. As you can see, I'll underline it in the video. Packages 1 OBS Studio 26.1.2 whatever the fuck it is. That's all I have to do to install OBS. Now I'm gonna hit no, because obviously I already have it installed. I'm using it to record this, but I really wanted to get this out there. Linux is not something to be afraid of. Please, if you ever hear someone saying Linux is hard to get into, it's for computer geniuses, you need to have fucking big brain, you need to be mega mind to be able to get on this. It's not the case. If someone says you cannot game on Linux, gaming on Linux, I would say, well, it's a damn sight better than gaming on Mac. That's for sure. I would say gaming on Linux is almost on par. It's sometimes even better performance-wise than Windows. The only issue is with multiplayer, which hopefully within the next month, hopefully within the next coming months, that will be an issue resolved. Now, why did I make this video? Why did I make this video out of the blue? Well, I wanted to show where I'm going in the direction of not only myself, but this channel. I don't want this to be a strictly gaming channel. I want to be able to do things like this. I want to be able to introduce a crowd to this new, or something, it's not necessarily new like Linux. I want them to learn. I want them to know that like there are other options out there than selling your soul to Microsoft. Data harvesting is the biggest thing on the planet right now. If you go on YouTube right now and you look at Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga, right? Guarantee it, 10 minutes later, you're going to have somewhere on YouTube, Amazon, somewhere on the internet, Facebook, Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga will show up for you. Data harvesting is how big corporations like Facebook, Google, Huawei, all these, Apple, Microsoft, make their profits. Data harvesting is huge. With Linux, if I wanted, I could take the base code for Linux, build my own kernel, upload my own Linux and have that be my operating system. That's all I have to do. I don't have to worry about, the data harvesting just set up in the background by Windows or Mac. I don't need to have to worry about a big corporation gripping up my OS by the balls and just yanking them whatever they want, and I can't do anything about it. This is why I want to educate people about Linux and the entire Linux world. You don't like Manjaro? That's fine. Switch to Ubuntu. You don't like Ubuntu? Go to Linux Mint. You don't like the KDE desktop environment? Use what I'm using, XFCE. That's what I use. I love it. It looks clean. Everything is great. I have 2 monitors. Jesus Christ. Alright, I guess the point I'm trying to get across. Don't be afraid to try new things. Linux is 100% free. I didn't have to pay a dime for this OS. I didn't have to pay a dime for the installer. I didn't even have to pay a dime to visit the website to download the ISO. Everything that comes with Linux, apart from a very select few distros, is 100% free. If there is an issue that you have, you can bring it up to the community, and the community will help you fix that issue. The community will work towards a better Linux because that is what the community wants. They want Linux for everybody. They want Linux that will work for you, your grandma, your grandpa, your dog, your cat, your weasel. I don't care what you could have a chimpanzee locked in the back shed, hairless, like the one episode of Family Guy where his feet in eggshells. You know what I'm talking about. Big clip here. You can make Linux so simple that anyone can use it. This is not hard, ladies and gentlemen. This is not hard whatsoever. I implore you to try Linux. I know this is like off the cuff, energetic, like crazy compared to the rest of my videos. It's completely different, but I just want people to learn more, to try more, and just to excel in the world of Linux, because it's great. That's about it. Green screen, new stream setup, microphone really nice. This is a brand new microphone, by the way. I'm going insane. It is 3 a.m. Listen, stay safe, wash your hands, and have a wonderful evening. I will see you all in the next video.